By the end of this video, you are going to know the exact reason why you're not fully booked yet and what area of your business that you need to be focused on fixing. As a lash technician, there are 8 different touch points a client experiences from the moment they hear about you all the way to whether they decide to rebook an appointment. Most lash techs are only focused on the lash service itself, but believe it or not, clients are actually deciding whether or not to come back every single step before and after that. So in this video, I'm going to walk through every single step of the client funnel, explain what you should be doing at every stage, and where things commonly go wrong. Hi, I'm Rain, creator of the Lash Look app. On here, I post tips and tricks for beginner lash techs that I wish I knew sooner. Let's just get right into the video. Starting off with touch point 1, your marketing. There's a lot more to marketing than just posting on social media. There are ways outside of this to market as well, including business cards, flyers, word of mouth, giveaways, partnering with local businesses. Make sure that you are exercising every single possible way someone can hear about your services. On top of this, you also have to focus on how good is your marketing. Make sure you're not just posting random lash pics. In today's day, you really need to add a bit more of a personal touch to your business so people know who they're booking with, not what they're booking for. Moving on to touch point number 2 is when the client finally decides to book an appointment. At this point, maybe they've seen 3 or 4 posts of yours, they've heard from a friend that you're really good, they've seen local businesses promote you, and they finally have maybe a special occasion around the corner and they decide to book an appointment. So they go to your page, but they can't find how to book, where you're located, any crucial information that someone needs to be able to book an appointment with you, you don't give away. Even worse, DM to book is in your bio. That immediately, you've probably just lost that client. No one wants to jump over hoops to just book a quick appointment with you. You need to make your booking system as convenient as possible for your clients. Make sure inside of your booking link, all of your services are listed with descriptions, how long they take, and how much they are. You need to be super transparent. And once they go to choose a day or time, make sure that you have like 3 or 4 months of availability so they can book ahead of time if they need to. If you're finding that your issue to being booked out is that you can't get new clients, look at these first 2 touch points because this is probably where you are missing the mark. So definitely focus on these first 2 things. Moving on to after they book and then before their actual appointment. The client should be able to answer all of these questions. Where exactly you're located? Is there parking on site? And if not, where can they park? Do you take cash? Do you do e-transfer? How they should be showing up to their appointments? Makeup, no makeup, if they're allowed to bring guests in. And this is a great opportunity to send them a pre-appointment form where you get to know if they've had lash extensions before, if they have any preferences, anything that can make your in-person consultation a bit smoother. If they're okay with you taking pictures, this avoids any awkward conversations when they're there because I think a lot of clients feel like they have to say yes to photos and videos, or maybe they don't feel comfortable. So make sure you ask them all of this information prior to the appointment. Next part of the funnel is the first face-to-face interaction. When they arrive, are you running 10, 20 minutes late? This is the absolute worst. I've had lash technicians like this before, and luckily I wasn't on a strict schedule, so I really didn't mind, but I can only imagine maybe if you're a working mother or this was the only time you had during the week to get your lashes filled and your lash tech is running super late, immediate turn off, you're probably going to go somewhere else. So make sure you're organizing your schedule properly to make enough time for each client. Next, are you greeting them properly? Are you greeting them by name? Is it a warm welcome? Or do they feel like they're just another time slot in your day? Also, making sure your studio has a very welcoming, comfortable vibe to it. I know every lash tech has preferences to decor and how they like to decorate, but just making sure there's blankets available, there's music playing, maybe there's snacks or drinks. I know none of this equates to a good client experience, but if your client feels comfortable and welcoming like they are meant to be there, that really helps them want to rebook an appointment. 2 other things I want to mention is 1, asking your client if they need to use the restroom when they first show up, even before the consultation, because this gives them the opportunity to rather than having to ask to go, and it prevents you from having to stop in the middle of the service as well. And then the second thing is if your studio is confusing to find, maybe they show up to the right address, but you could be in a separate unit number, or maybe they need to walk down a few halls to get there. Don't make it confusing for your customer. If it is hard to find your studio, meet them outside. This avoids any back and forth messages. Where am I? Where am I supposed to go? That is just super confusing for your client. Next up, we have the actual consultation, which is arguably the most important section in the client funnel, because this is where 99% of miscommunication happens. For some reason, you aren't doing the consultation correctly, your client can end up with lashes that they didn't want. They thought they were getting something else. You thought they wanted something else. A good consultation will alleviate all of this. Now, if you're someone who doesn't have any consultation structure, you need to implement one right now. The easiest way to do this is by using the Lash Look app, which is a consultation tool specifically made for lash technicians. What you can do with it is you can scan your client's face, which then reads all of the eye measurements, and based off of that, gives you 6 lash maps that are actually ideal for your client's face. On top of that, your client can actually try on every single look. This feature alone alleviates so much miscommunication, because clients sometimes don't understand what a volume set is or what a cat eye map is. They don't know unless they can see it on themselves to know if they're gonna like it, if that's what they're looking for. And so then being able to show them the look before you even start lashing is a game changer. So make sure, if you don't have a consultation process, or if you're looking to upgrade your consultation process, please try out the Lash Look app. I'm going to leave the link for it in the description below. Moving on to the next touch point in the funnel, which is the actual service. Now that you and your client both are on the same page and you know exactly what look they're going for, all you have to do is lash it. This part comes down to your skills and your education, but during the actual service, you do have to remember that your client's eyes are closed for 2+ hours. Now, especially if this is someone who's never met you or even had lash extensions done, they do not know what to expect. Make sure that you are explaining what you're doing at every single point. If you are someone with your eyes closed and all of a sudden you feel someone doing a lash bath, but you have no idea what's going on, you are going to get anxious, scared, confused. Say, hey, I'm just about to do a lash bath. This is what you're gonna feel. Don't be alarmed. Let me know if anything's uncomfortable, whatever. Make sure you're clearly communicating what it is you're doing and how you will feel during it. Another thing to note during the service is how you're talking to your client. You can really just go off of vibes here, because every client is different, and every time a client comes in, it can be different as well. Do they feel like sleeping? Do they feel like chatting? Do they want to get to know you? Do they feel like answering a bunch of questions about themselves? Usually you can just gauge this within the first 5 minutes, but just make sure you're taking the hint and just making them feel as comfortable as possible. Another thing you can do is also ask them if they like a specific podcast or a specific type of music, and then putting that on for them during the appointment. I promise there's only 2 more. We're down to the 7th touch point, which is after the service. So their lashes are done, they love it. Now it comes to paying. This can be awkward sometimes. You don't want to make the room feel awkward. You don't want there to be any tension. Make it easy for them to take their time to get their cash out, count out their cash, ask for your e-transfer information, all that kind of stuff. During this time, I think most lash techs, including myself, usually just start to clean up a little. It's also good for your clients to see you clean as well. But yeah, just pop your tweezers in the cleanser, start to sweep up, move your stuff back in order, whatever you need to do. Just don't make it awkward. Another thing you can do after the service is upselling your aftercare. Make sure that clients, 1, know about aftercare, how to take care of their lashes, and 2, be able to offer them something to do that with. If you're going to take after pics, make sure that you ask for their consent. Again, even if they said on the forms that they're fine with it, just ask. Also, this is great because you've already got someone in with lashes. Make sure that you're posting about it. And then the most important thing to do after the service is getting them to rebook their next appointment. I don't know why not everybody does this. It is like one of the easiest ways to get clients to return, but book them while they're still there. This is the most intent someone has to rebook with you, because 1, they're literally in front of your face, so they're more likely to say, yeah, let's book. 2, they just got their lashes done. They see how they look, fresh, full, all of that. So they're happy with their lashes. Make sure you are rebooking them in the same appointment. One last thing you can do in this part of the funnel is offer loyalty cards. I have an entire video about loyalty cards and why they work. Make sure you have some sort of system, cards, digital, whatever. This gives that client more incentive to come back to you than to go somewhere else. Moving on to the last touch point and end of the funnel is after the service. So after they left, most lash techs don't do this, so be the one lash tech that does, but check in on your clients. See how they're liking their lashes. How are they holding up? How's the retention? Are they using the lash shampoo? Just a quick check-in 3 days later makes a world of a difference, because that tells them that one, you remember them, and two, you actually care. Now, let's say they didn't rebook their appointment during the last touch point. Make sure you're reminding them to rebook their appointment. You don't need to be super harsh or pushy about it, but just sending them a message maybe 10 days later if they haven't booked yet, just saying something like, hey, I noticed you haven't booked your next appointment. I'm getting pretty booked up next week and want to make sure I can get you in if you are interested in rebooking. That's it. Just a little, hey, I'm here if you wanted to rebook. That's it. That's all you need. If they want to rebook, they'll do it. If you do decide to post a photo of your clients, make sure you are editing them. Nobody's perfect. Everyone has blemishes, under eye bags, whatever. Make sure you aren't posting those flaws of your client, because nobody wants to repost a photo of themselves that looks bad. And also, if you're constantly posting bad photos of your clients, they might be scared to come back because they don't want more bad photos of them. So make sure you are cleanly editing. Do not touch the lashes, but just their skin, blemishes, all of that kind of stuff. And then last thing to do after the service is remind them that you have a referral program or incentives. So a referral program could be for every person that they refer that books an appointment with you, they get maybe 50% off their next set. Whatever it is that you want to offer, make sure they know what it is you offer. And then also incentives. So let's say you want your client to post a photo of their new lashes on their story and maybe give them $5 off their next appointment. This is great marketing for you, which returns back to the top of the funnel. So it's just a big loop. And yeah, those are all 8 touch points in the client funnel. I hope that watching this video, it helped you figure out where you can improve and where you might be missing the mark. If you are interested in upgrading your consultations, I will leave the link to the Lash Look down below. I post here every single week, so make sure to subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.